Good afternoon, everybody. It's a Sunday, another opportunity to learn, to grow, and become a better person. Um, we are back, and we are live on all platforms. And I'm inviting you to call your friends, call your neighbors, everybody, and tell them that we are here, and they can join us right now on any platform that they feel comfortable with. If you go to LinkedIn, you'll find us. You'll find the link on LinkedIn. Thabang is back, and we are excited as we continue to learn to do data analytics. So call your friends, call your neighbors, call your relatives. What we are basically doing is to showcase how do you learn a skill. How can you use AI to learn a skill? But of course, we do know that there are a variety of skills that people want to learn. And so we are just demonstrating this with one skill, and that's the skill of data analysis, data analytics. So call your friends, tell us where you're coming from, where you're joining us from. In the meantime, we are going live on all our platforms. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Tell us where you're joining us from. We want to welcome you properly. The comment line is open, and we want to know where you're joining us from. Call your friends. I know we're starting at 5 o'clock, so I came in a little bit earlier to make sure that everything works well. We tested the sound, the tech, everything is on board. Don't worry about my eyes. They will come on board as well one day. In the meantime, we are going to continue. We're trying to go live on Instagram as well. And live also on all the platforms that we have advertised the program on. How we can use AI to learn a new skill. Using AI to learn a new skill. And today we are learning how to be a data scientist. We are learning how to be a data scientist today, and it's a second installment. We did this the last installment, and we're hoping that many of you caught it the last time. If you didn't get it the last time, then you should follow today, because we're going to go over what we discussed the last time, and then we will focus. There's 4 steps to being a data scientist. We discussed 2, and we're going to go to the rest of them. So just hang in there. It's very interesting. As we showed you the last time, that we showed you the last time that actually, when you have data, even when you don't know what questions to ask, AI can help you start asking the initial questions. Today, Thabang will show us the last 2 steps, which is predictive understanding. We got to understanding what's the data telling us, why are things the way they are, and then we today will go on to predicting. So what can we do now that we know what we know? What can we do? Is there anything that this data is helping us with now that we know what we know? All right. So today we're going to be doing that. What is it that we can do with what we know now that we know it? All right. What do we do with what we know now that we know it? Okay. If you hired as a data scientist, that's what will that's what you're expected to do. You're expected to tell the CEO and everyone else in the room, this is the data you have, you've collected it over the years, and this is what it's telling you. This is why things are the way they are. And then you'll go on to say, um, now, knowing this is what you can do with what you know. All right? That's what data analytics helps us with. What is it that we can do with what we know? Now that we know what we know, what is it that we can do? All right? Okay. Tell me where you're joining us from. Let me welcome you. I'm going to be looking at who's joining us today. I can see Lehlonolo is joining us. Lehlonolo, I don't know what you want to share, but you can slide into my DMs on LinkedIn and tell me what is it that you want to share, and then we can talk. Kule Kone says, good afternoon. He's joining us from Pretoria. Welcome from Tshwane. And then there's Silo. Hello, everyone. Silo is watching us from Butterworth. Elesta Mulanto is joining us from Bochum. Welcome. And Pumland is joining us. Pumlan is joining us from Sandton. The original gentleman is joining us from Durban, live from Durban. And there's Tando joining us from Johannesburg. And Pumlani, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mapule joining us from Cape Town. Tawanda joining us from Zim, Harare. Tell me where in Harare you are, homeboy. All right. And Sinazo is joining us from Cape Town. Tebogo Mabusela from Mukopani. Tebogo, good to see you. Our sound is good. Naomi joining us from Soshanguve. I have Thabang waiting in the waiting room. I'll be welcoming him very soon. We just want to make sure that everyone is on board. Tebogo, can you just check that Instagram has gone live so that I don't multitask, and then just drop me a line here. There's Tebza from Mukopani, Naomi from Soshanguve. Moyo says, played with AI on data science. I hope everything went well. Moyo, 012 Moyo. And then there's Masabata. Good day, everyone. Joining us from Bloemfontein. Thank you very much, Masabata, for joining us. 012 Moyo is impressed with trying data science on AI. And Sonia is joining us from PAL. Welcome from the north of Cape Town, PAL. And Lerato Numalo from Cape Town. Lerato, my sister, good to see you. Keketso from Johannesburg, Douglas from St. Louis in the US. Welcome, Douglas. And Mapule Mdleche and together with Zikimi from Pietermaritzburg. Thank you for joining us again today. Osweli from Rwanda. Thank you very much for joining us again today. And there's Walter Mulepo joining us from Cape Town. Where is Botswana? Where is Zambia? I'm waiting to see Zambia on the line. Where is Zambia and where is Botswana? All right, there's Nkote from Pretoria. There's Refilo from Lesotho. Welcome, Lesotho in the house. Bongi from Centurion. Isabella from Johannesburg. Charles from Krugersdorp. General from Cape Town. Harare. Tinasha from Harare, Zimbabwe. Tebogo from Alexander. Mbegeni from Velgejevel. And Tando Yenkosi from Skanda in Winterfeld. Home girl. Obed from Northwest, Maribe from Ekuruleni. Everyone is here. So it is now 5:05. I'm going to allow Thabang to come in. Let's see. Queen Vivian is in the house. Welcome, Queen Vivian. And there's a LinkedIn user from Germany. Welcome. Tell us where in Germany. It's a big place. Tell us where. And good evening from Bari, Italy. Katleho, welcome. Thank you for joining us from Italy. And Queen Vivi is waiting for Thabang's presentation. It's really good. I had a preview and it's amazing. We're all gonna learn a lot. Dumelang Lemek from the US, Northeast in the US. Lori Smith from USA. And yes, Mahumbuza from Kampala, Uganda. At least we have someone up north who's joining us as well. Sidwell from Limpopo. And Rodney from Edinburgh in the US, in the UK. All right, now I'm going to welcome Thabang to the stage, and we can get on with the Thabang. Good afternoon, Thabang. Let's see, Lennox is joining us, and Vernon is joining us from Toyando. Vernon in Toyando. Thabang, the room looks good. The room looks good. There's lots of people from Rwanda, from Free State, from Edinburgh in the US, from Toyando, from Harare, from Bremen in Germany. So yeah, we've got a full house as usual, and we are delighted to see you back, Thabang. We missed you last week.
Oh, no, thank you, Prof. And thank you for the viewers as well.
Yeah,
Also,
and we had a great time with Tsepo. And I want to thank everyone who joined us last week with Tsepo for the feedback. It boosted his confidence a lot. Tsepo continues to be creative, and my hope is that one day he'll come back to tell us what's going on. Everyone who reached out to him, because people asked for his number, I hope you got in contact with him. So Thabang is back. As you know, Thabang is our in-house expert. He's a data scientist and an AI researcher. He's busy doing his PhD in AI, data science, and he works for a big corporate in the country as a data scientist. So we are delighted, Thabang, for you to be sharing your expertise. Of course, we have to mention that Thabang is from Soshanguve. So everyone for Soshanguve, thank you for donating Thabang to us every Sunday. All right, Thabang. There's
yes.
also people from Maseru in Lesotho, by the way. Did I mention
Oh,
that?
yes.
That Zambia is in the
Yes.
house. It's not only Zim, Zambia is in the house, Maseru, Rwanda, Rodeport, even, Benoni is in the room. That's
Oh.
how diverse we are today. Benoni Boxback is in the room today.
Yeah, no,
All right, let's get on with it then.
yeah. Okay. Just gonna share my screen and gonna start. Yeah. So today is just I think it's just gonna be a walkthrough of how to become a data scientist using AI. Right. Let me know
Yep.
if my screen is crystal clear on this.
Yeah, let me put it up. There you go. It's crystal clear. Just make it presentation mode.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, good. Yeah, so today it's about basically how do you use AI to learn how to become a data scientist. That's the aim, right? Um, and then in this case, we're using Claude, right? You don't need a PhD, you don't need any coding experience, right? Should
Yeah.
have said no coding, no PhD required. So that's what we're using today. Like we're gonna use Claude how to it's one of those AI tools that we right. Okay, so I think before we start, maybe just for some people who don't know what is Claude, what does it do? How is it different from other tools like ChatGPT and Gemini and all those, right? So basically, Claude, it's really good. It's like a very smart assistant, right? It's like a specialist in programming and doing like tasks, like technical tasks. Yeah, right. So like what you can do with it, like so, like for instance, disclaimer: these slides you're seeing, I use Claude to create them, right? So you can create slides. You can link it to your PowerPoint, and then you just create nice slides from just describing what you want, right? And then I think today you can see like we're gonna use it to analyze some data and build some models. You can also use it to build website. I've built a lot of website with it. You can use it to build apps, tools, interactive dashboard. You're gonna see that today as well. And then a nice thing is like it's not like sitting alone, right? You can connect it to like Google Docs, Gmail, Slack. Like you can connect to a lot of tools. Basically, if you're building an agent, it can talk to your real everyday tools that you use, right? And then there's the new feature that just came in. It's Cloud Call Work. So like you install it, an application on your computer, and it's like an assistant on your computer that does everything for you. Cleans your, creates files, automates tasks, sends email, like on your desktop. Like it's a core work. It helps you, right? And then you have Cloud Code. So Cloud Code is like what you use like to build tools, apps, and applications. Basically, that's what these are. this is what Claude can do. Like it can, I mean, these are just some of the few things, but it can do a lot of things, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so just maybe to understand, these are the, like the different, yeah, what do you call, plans. So there's a free plan. So just free, you just go to Claude.ai and then you just get to a free plan. It's normal the way you do it with ChatGPT. It's like a free plan, then you use it. So you can chat with it, upload files, you can search on the web, but it has a limit every day. So you can go past, right? And then there's this one, is a what I call it, the pro plan. So it's like 340 per month. So same thing, you can do this more, but like it doesn't have like much limits, right? So you can create files, create apps. You can use Cloud Code. You can connect it to your Google, any application like your Gmail, your yeah, like a lot of application. That's the one, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, so this one is like, as I said, like the regular users and professionals, like it's cheap, like yeah, like you're just paying so it's, if you want to, this is like, it's I mean, even free it's really good, but like if you want to get more of it, build some stuff, I think this one is it's a good plan. And then we have the max one. The max one is like, if you want to build, if you're building big things than apps, you want to build your own company.
Yep.
You want to build your own, yeah, that's where you would use this one. Like it's like Pro Max, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you have this one. This one is nice. I like this one. This is for teams. So you're paying like 425 per month. So this is good. Like if, let's say, maybe you want to share with people, like if maybe you want to share with your family, you want to share with your kids, this is a good plan to have, right? Because you're just paying, you have a minimum of 5 users, and then per month for all of them, you're paying 425 rents, right, per month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. That yeah, that's what I wanted to just to yeah to walk through of what Lord is, and the options that you have. Okay, so today we're the most important thing is, okay, I need to remove this. So it's, what is data science? Like, what is data science? I think last week we covered what is the data analyst does, but today we want to understand what is data science, right? And then what is a data scientist? So data science is, two things are very important. Questions. Like if you're always asking questions, I mean, that's one foot in as a data scientist. And then another thing is data. Like if you have data, you've seen some data, you wanna ask questions about the data, then that's what you call, that's the start of becoming a data scientist, right? And then getting answers like from that data. So like you have data, and then from that data you get questions, and from the questions you try to find what answers can this data tell me, right? And then today, as I said, it's not about coding. It's about, like, we're just trying to say how a data science think and how do you do it? How do you learn that skill, right? Using Claude or using ChatGPT or using Gemini. So okay. Before AI, like this thing is very important, Prof, because before AI, you need to learn Python, for instance. That's one of them. You need to learn SQL. You need to learn some a specialized skill that you need to go to university for months, or like right. You need to learn statistics. Go read books. Try to understand. You need to be taught how to do data cleaning. You need to understand charts. You need to build, like, you need to, like, it's a very long, tedious process for you to become like a fully data science, right? But now
Yep.
with these AI tools, it has removed that. So because now data science is no longer Python or what, it's just English programming.
Mm-hmm.
You're programming with just English. So if you can ask the right questions, here you can solve most of the problems now, right?
Mm-hmm.
um so like that's what it is. So as I said, yeah, you bring questions, Lord brings the skill. That's it. And then it's not even just in data science, in everything. You want to be a software developer, you want to be before, like, you want to be an editing, you want to edit videos, like, that's what you just bring the questions. Claude or these AI tools, they just bring the skills for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a skill to learn how to use them. And then this is what we're going to cover today. And then, yeah, like, so what is the workflow like today? Meaning, like, what is the process? What is the thinking process of a data science? And then in this case, we're using it a lot. So the first thing is, you need to so that we're gonna explore. We're gonna give it data. Say, here, we upload some data. Ask Lord to describe it, like, basically, right? Tell us what can we answer with this, right? And then if the data, obviously, the biggest thing as a data scientist is to clean. The data comes up is messy. Like, like when people collect surveys, some people are not there. Some people tell them the wrong age. Some people, all those things. So like the data needs to be cleaned so that you can get information out of it. Then and information is like, we need to analyze it, find to see what questions can we ask. And then once we have analyzed it, then we try to create like we try to visualize. So this can be charts, dashboard, it can be an app that people use, right? That's what it is. And then from there, this visualization needs to do something. That app, that dashboard, that chart needs to tell you as a business, as a person, to make something in like something action, an action in the real world, right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So so you here you don't need to know anything about coding, like as I said, like code is gonna be written by Claude. This is just how to think, but this is how you think data science. Data, clean the data, analyze, make it visual, and from those visuals, make some decisions. And then these are the 4 steps of like any data science. Yeah, so pillars, I would say. So firstly, like you need to, once you get the data, you need to describe, right? What
Yeah.
happened? What like the data? What happened? And then why did that thing you're seeing happen, right? And I think in the last case, I think we're looking about education, which we're gonna show. We're looking about employment, like we saw that employment was growing for education, and we wanted to find out why. Like while other sectors like manufacturing and others are going down. And then we cut these 2 parts. This descriptive and diagnostic is mostly just we are an analyst here, data analyst, right? That's it. And then once you start to move in to predict what will happen, now you know why certain things happen, right? But now you want to move in into what will happen. That's when data
Yeah.
science comes in, because now you're going into the future, right? And then once you know what will happen, then you want to know, okay, now I know what will happen. What should I do since I know what will happen? These two, that's what data science is about. And yeah, and then I'm just gonna go. So gonna start with a demo here. So today, same demo. We're looking at what do you call employment for different sectors, and the data is real. It's real data. It's not mock-up. It's real data that we got from what do you call municipal youth explorer. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna exit here. And carry. And then we're gonna start. We're gonna come back to the slides.
Yeah.
Good. So now this is Claude code. This is called Claude.ai, right? This is where your Claude code, when this is Claude, sorry, the Claude, not the Claude code. And then what I normally do is I create a project. So you come here and then you say, you create a new project, right? So here we have a project. And under this project today, this is the project that we're working on. Like yes, I created this project using Claude to become a data scientist, right? And then great. Then now we're gonna start, right? I think I just want us to. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, so this is like from previously when we started. So like I had data about basically like for each different sector, we're counting how many people are getting employed. Like that's it,
Mm-hmm.
basically the numbers. And then this is the first part. As I said, you upload the data and then Claude and it looks at the data and understands it. We're still in the what do you call in the analyst part, right? So we covered this part, and then from there we asked Claude to give us some questions, and we got some what do you call some questions that we can answer, and then we can answer, right? So here we're seeing over time different industries, what are they growing, are they declining, and everything. And I think the most interesting one that we found was education. Like we're seeing like, oh,
Education.
education over the years was growing, right? So we wanted to find
Mm-hmm.
out, okay, from here what can we find, why is it growing, right? We're still in the descriptive and diagnostics. So now we know this is the descriptive, and now we're going to the diagnosis, why is it growing. And then we did that part, which is so you ask questions, right? So I'm just
And
skipping this part because
someone might also be curious. What is it about education that's growing? Is it
yes,
is it the number of people employed in the education sector? Is it the number of people going into education as a profession to study education? So, but I guess we can also ask Claude, what does this mean
yes,
that
yes, yes,
education
yes.
is growing?
Yes, Prof. Yes, I think it's mostly picking. It's more, but it's mostly speaking about. So
Employer.
it's a employment. Yeah, like how many
Yeah.
people are getting employed full time, right? Right.
Mm.
You have different roles like occasional, part time, all over. But how many of those people are actually converted into a full time role? Like they're getting full time
Yeah.
employment. That's what it's
Yeah.
talking about.
Mm.
Okay, I did
That's
something.
also interesting that education employs the highest number of people. Isn't it fascinating?
It is.
Uh, People
Okay,
people don't want to go into education because they think
there's no
they
employment.
think other areas are going to give them jobs, but here we see education is going up
Yeah, yes,
consistently.
education is growing up, and we saw when you're comparing with other what do you call other sectors. Other sectors are just not growing at all, or just steadily declining as time goes on, right? So yeah, yeah. So I think this okay. This is what we covered. I think last time. So here now we know like okay, why is it growing? We did find that it was changing policies, there was enrollment expansion, all those other things we found, right? But now we want to find out like is this trend is it's what we're seeing this growth over time? What will happen? Is it in the future? Is it still gonna grow? Is it still gonna right? That's why now we're moving into data science, right? So now we're going to ask okay, I've already asked them, but like yeah, it's just to ask Claude to say okay, now I want you to help me understand the future like for this like the employment growth for what will happen in the next like maybe in 2028. Tell me, give me some scenarios, right? And then in this case I'm just going to the diagram straight so that maybe but then I'll walk, yeah, I'll walk you guys through. So
Yeah.
normally, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. So now, so that everyone can see. So this whole thing, right? You will spend a lot as a data scientist. You spend a lot of time building this, refining it, making it better, like you coding it. But now in here, we just used simple English, right? We just asked Lord, okay, here's this. We just wanna predict, or we wanna help us find if what does this growth of employment in education look like in 2020 in 2028. You see like so this is from here to here, this is the data, like this is what the data was telling us. But now 2020 then from here, this is what Claude has built two models, like it has built a linear regression a linear the linear regression and then as well as a polynomial, right? That's what. And then okay, but now I'm gonna come back here. So like I'm just gonna go to so that I'm gonna go to what this model tells us what to do, right? That's what like based on the trend, based on that trend that I showed you that okay, education is growing. What is it telling us, right? What are the opportunities that it is that's identified? Because as a data scientist, it's not about the model. Hey, the model, my model is good. My model is doing this. No, it's about what does it tell me? What does it tell me to do and how to do it? That's the most important thing. And that's where the money lies. That's what people pay for. And that's what people pay you for. And that's the skill, right? That you need to get. And then Claude can teach you that skill. Like it can teach you how to, or like this AI tools can teach you how to do it because you can ask it, right? Or once it is built, something like this, like you can now interrogate. For instance, like I mean, let's have a look, maybe prof one by one, right?
Yep.
So so it has built a more okay. It has built okay. I'm just gonna go back here. So I'm going back and forth, but so you can see we're using a very simple case, right? It's some assumptions. So very simple one. That means meaning like it's assuming this thing over time it's gonna stay the same. There's gonna be more jobs being created or more employment. Sorry, in education.
In
So that's the
education.
assumption, right? And then this number here it's saying like 90%. It's 90% confident that this is gonna happen. That's it. That's it, right? That's what it says. This number. Then now it's telling okay. Now since we know that's what's gonna happen and we are confident 90% of the time, and then what is it telling us like what should we do then what for us to get that what should we do, right? So it's saying invest in TVET teaching qualification, right? For people between 15 and 24, right? That's what it's telling, right? That's what it's telling us. So it means that currently there is okay you see saying there's a lot of volatile, a lot of people in these age groups. The education is unpredictable, there's a higher drop rate, maybe there's no opportunity, it's very fragile. So but now if we invest in TVETs, because TVETs also offer different skills and all other than universities and other colleges. So if we invest in TVETs, then we should see that growth in education. Maybe opening other avenues, right? That's what it's saying. And then how to do that? Like that's the thing now. Like now we know, like maybe we need to invest in education, but how do we do that? Then it's also recommending here saying that okay, um, the government needs to make sure that a minimum of 6% of the GDP that's generating needs to go to education, right? So this is an action now. The government knows, okay, when we get money, we not if we need to get that growth for education,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that 6% of the money that is going there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and then it also other, and then you can see it's ranking saying this one, these two are high. If you do this, that means you're
Yes.
doing most of the job. So this is what, if you're a data scientist, this is what you do when you're building something. If you're working for a business, this is what they want, not the model. They want something like this. What should I do from the data? The data needs to answer the questions that we were asking.
Mm-hmm.
Why is education growing? And if it's growing in the future this much, what should I do? And this is what
Mm-hmm.
you should do, right?
Yep.
And then I mean other things. It's like it's saying. Um, like because like they target new TVET campuses in underserved provinces, right? This also it's saying like KwaZulu Natal and Gauteng hold the most teachers. So there are other areas like rural areas, and then Claude automatical on it. This is like people don't like maybe this is a very important skill. It's a skill to do this thing. Like a data science,
Mm.
you can build a model, but to come up with actions, it's very hard. But
It's
Claude did
hard.
it
Yeah.
off the bat. That's why I'm saying it's Claude has these AI tools. They come with a skill. You come with the questions, right? For instance,
Mm.
here I can ask as a if I maybe I'm working in the government, right?
Yes.
In the education sector, I'm like, okay, you're saying which educate like you're saying that we need to prioritize target other TVETs in other provinces. Which provinces are those, right?
Yeah.
That's a different question, right? I can ask Claude
Mm.
which province, and he can tell me if the data I have is enough to do that, or should I get
Mm.
more data to answer that question, right? That's that's what data science is about. It's
So
about
it's telling
asking.
you, it says the rural provinces. The
Yes,
rural provinces because they have fewer institutions per capita.
yes.
Mm.
So meaning like as I said, like there's less access to people in rural areas for
Yes.
like because education is growing. So if it's growing, you need to make
Mm.
sure those facilities are spread out across, like not only in Gauteng, or some of them in Gauteng, some of them in Limpopo, but so everyone gets opportunity because there's a
Everywhere.
growth, there's a demand.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's a demand, right? There's an
Yeah.
opportunity for that.
Mm.
And then another, okay, yeah, that's one of them. And then
There's
okay,
someone.
now I'm just
There's someone who's asking. There's someone who's asking a question. Taban. Let's
yes,
just get it.
yes,
It's 012 Moyo says, question for Tabang. For someone who uses AI tools to assist with coding and problem solving, how can they stay competitive in these interviews? I think we should wait for that later, ne? Because it's not really about data analytics. Ne, Tabang?
yes,
Yeah.
no, but I can answer again, maybe
You can
when before
answer
we
it.
close again.
Okay.
Yes,
All
before
right.
we close. Yes.
Before we close.
I
And
think
they ask the same question also asks, do I still need to have a strong understanding of the core foundations like statistics, algorithms, and programming concepts, or is it enough to rely on AI to support the process? So you can answer that later because I mean it's a question that we sort of you
yes,
answered a little bit in the previous session where I was asking, so if AI can do this, do we really need people to study data analytics? But you can
yes.
answer it as before we close.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll answer those two questions. Yeah, and then I think, okay, we remember from last time. I'm just going back. One of the biggest thing was there was a dip, right? Because I think it was during the COVID times,
COVID.
right? Yes, and it makes sense. Like, if people are not going to university, you need internet. Not everyone has access to those internet and those resources. So, like here, it's saying like we need to make sure that we build like a resilience against this. And what a resilience is meaning, like we need to be prepared again if something like this happen. So now, as a government official, as a business owner, now I know I'm like, okay, that means I need to make sure internet. There's an opportunity again to provide internet, because COVID clearly showed that, okay, if internet is not there, then that means like a lot of people are not connected. So you see those are the things, like that's a data science. You are identifying opportunities, and then in those opportunities, you're trying to find what can you do to either make an impact or also make money. Like if you're an organization, you want to make money. Okay, if you are in like maybe Department of Health or an university, you wanna make impact. You wanna enroll more people. You want to make sure you make more people in education like produce more people in it who go to education and get full-time roles. So those are the things of what basically like data science is about. And then the most important thing here, like it's not about the model. So I'm gonna come back here, the modeling, right? And then now I'm gonna answer the question: do you really need a degree? Do you really need to know these things? You do need to know these things because um, these tools they can make up things. They can make up stuff. They can lie. There's this thing called hallucination. So you still need to understand this number. Is it real? Is that, like, what does this number mean, and how did it calculate it? Why is it zero? Why is it 0.95? Where is it where is it creating? Now it's saying the growth for each and every year, like it's 5,000. What does this 5,000? How did it get to this number? Like, wow, like what did you use to calculate this number? Like, and then how do you know, like, in the next it's gonna be the demand is gonna be this much, and then this is how much it's gonna grow every year up to 20, like. So you still need to know the stats. Like, you still need to know what is a linear regression model. What does it assume? How is it built? How does it work? What is the so that you can question it, right? Because why education is, let's say education is it's not really simple, but if you're telling government they need to invest at least 6% of the GDP, that's money, that's billions of rands. So if these guys are just investing on, if this thing just made all those numbers up and then government is just giving 6 billion and then nothing comes out, I mean, that's an issue. And let's say if you're building a model for a hospital, it's recommending people medication, it's giving them wrong medication. You don't know why is it doing that. People can die, people can get sick. So like you still need to know. And then Claude can teach you. For instance, like here's an example here. I like you like let's say you've built this. You like that's what I'll do. Like it's just question. Help me understand um okay, sorry, my keyboard is lagging. Help me understand what is R and the average growth rate. How did you get them? Right? In simple terms. Like, then this is how you learn. It's teaching you. This thing like knows more than me as well, like way more than me sometimes. So it's teaching me. Now I'm gonna learn from just this exercise. Now I'm gonna learn what this number means. So if someone I'm sitting and speaking about an R squared, I'm like, you know what it means. So now, for instance, now it says R squared. How well does the line fit the data? So basically, how well does this, like, it's gonna draw a line. It's just, just trying to say how well does this model tell me about my data. So here it's saying 90% of the time the model is right. Right, that's what it says from this trend. Like, it's 90%. I know this is how it's gonna grow in the future. That's what it means, right? So and then it can tell you, like, here, like, so imagine you plot all 10 years of education on a graph and draw a straight line through them. Some dots will be close to the line, so you have a line, right? Some dots, so it's explaining, like, this is test. This is something you go to class to sit and you invest, and someone teaches you how to interpret this number. And here you're getting it, like, but it's practical, like something that you want to solve, like you're solving. So that, so it's teaching you, like, okay, and R squared of 1 means it's perfectly aligned, means 100%. It's doing everything, like, this model is 100% confident, right? If it's 0.5, it's 50%, half. It explains half. It's 0, that means you need to improve it. It's like it doesn't tell you anything at all. There's nothing it can tell you, right? So from this, like, now, from a question that's it. So you to answer that question, you need to learn. You can learn. This is how you learn how to be a data scientist. So now I'm learning the technicalities of what these numbers mean. How do I calculate it? Just from questioning, just asking questions, right? And then this is, like, for instance, like, here's an interesting one. So it says the average growth rate, meaning, like, it is from the data we give it, the CSV. It says, like, it's 5,907 people get like a year they get employed from this. That's what it's saying, right? How, and it says, how did you get that? So it tells you, like, all the steps, and it tells you how it gets here, like using the data that you have. So in this way, you have built, literally, you have built a model inside. This model has been built. Like, it's not like something that's a nice graph to have. No, it has built a model. Like, it has spin up a computer in the back end, install the packages that we normally install as data scientist, does all the step and come up with a final output that you can do. right?
Mm,
That you can. So this is what this whole using Claude like
mm,
or using ChatGPT. So
mm.
okay, I'm just gonna go back to the slides if okay, but I think
Maybe whilst you're going to the slides, I mean, the
mm,
issue is that if someone is asking, so should I be learning? I mean, I see the person keeps asking questions about that. I mean, I think
mm,
if you are going to apply for a job to be a data scientist, they will want to know that you've studied. They will want
yes,
evidence that you've studied data science. But
yes,
sometimes you are not in a position of a data scientist, but you work in a company that needs to understand the data. You actually don't have to go in your little unit to hire a data scientist. You can learn how to do this. You can ask Claude to help you with that. or
yes,
or perhaps you run a farm with 100,000 chicken layers. They are laying eggs. You're selling the eggs. If you collect the data every day, how many eggs does it lay? How old are these chicken? When did you start? And all of that. Every day you take the data, breakages, cracks, dirty eggs, clean eggs, and what ends up being sold, and for how much. You can actually have a rich data, and then you can put it into Claude and ask Claude, what does this data tell us? Okay, and Claude might help you understand the market. It may
hmm
help you understand, in fact, the breed of the chicken, of the layers that you have, whether this breed that you got this round is much more productive than the breed that you had the last round. So we don't have to hire a data analyst to do that. We are a farm, and maybe we don't have a lot of money, but actually we have this AI tool that can help us do that. So we are learning to do data analytics, and in fact we can end up developing in-house expertise that doesn't only serve the in-house, that can end up saving other farmers, because now we're learning about the particular breed. We are learning about all the things that we've been doing over 3 years or over 5 years on the farm, and we can start educating other people. And in fact, we can start generating income even just from that intelligence, right? Right,
yes,
Taba?
and
Yeah.
yes, Prof. No, 100%. It's like well, I think what you just said is like is 100% because it's self empowerment. Like there's a tool that can teach you how to be a data scientist. And then what I like is what you mentioned. If you're in a different job and you want to get in data science, like you can use Claude to learn what opportunities are there for me to apply data science in my own job. If you're as Prophet mentioned, you have a farm, you're an entrepreneur. You can even ask Claude, I'm collecting this type of data, and
Yeah.
then it helps you come up with ways to collect it, analyze it, and then uh, use it to maybe to make your business better or offer it as a service to other people who don't know how to use Claude or who don't know how to use data science. Like so there's more like it's like a full empowerment. Like you can do that for yourself or your existing organization to upskill yourself, right?
Mm,
Um,
mm.
yeah. So
And
there's
it
an opportunity.
doesn't it doesn't even have to be just a farm. It can be even if you run a preschool, you
Yes.
know. Yeah. And even if you are a lecturer in your own class, you are teaching your students. I mean, year in, year out, you can collect data. Where do these students come from? What symbols, whatever, you plot them, you see how are they performing. I mean, within three years, you'll have some intelligence, profound intelligence about what these students, about the data that come from these students. It can even be your something that helps you improve your teaching, change the way you teach or the way you give assignments and so on, because you've been collecting data. I mean, I think the key thing, I mean, the other thing that this Claude can help us to do, which in this case, it might not be very important, but if you are collecting data, it can even tell you what more data you need. Because if I
Yes.
ask as a farmer to say my 100,000 chicken, this is what they're producing, whatever, it can say, well, you need to collect this more data, this
Yes.
other data that's missing.
Yes, yes, yes. And and I think what you just said is very important because like like for instance, if you want to ask more questions, you need more data. And Claude can tell you. Sometimes you don't know. And
Mm,
and if you ask it, it can like for instance, like if you want to answer a specific question, okay, we can ask Claude, what data do I need to collect? It can tell
yes.
you where to find it, how to find it, how to get it, right? Um and then at the end you can build something. So for instance, like this thing is living inside Claude, right? I just mentioned this
Yeah.
is like, it's living inside Claude, but this can be an app, this whole thing,
Mm,
right? Right, and Claude can help you build it, like from here.
mm,
Like you can tell it, build me an app for this, and it can build you an application that someone can
mm-hmm,
use, right? Or you just can share this dashboard if you want.
mm-hmm,
Publish. So like yeah, this publish artifacts. I mean, if you like, maybe yeah, like let's say you want to share it, like you don't, you can publish an artifact is like make it an app. So when you do
yeah.
this, everyone you can share it and then they can use it. And you every day your job is to go and just put new data, fresh data, and then
Mm,
this dashboard updates, and someone can decide, okay, this was happening. So like, but not specific for education, as Prof said. Like it can be anything that you,
mm,
as long as you have a question, the most, to put two things: question and data. Then
mm-hmm.
then the possibilities, it's the questions that you can answer. That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Those are the yeah. Yeah,
I
and
want to allow
then
you to go to back to your slides. We'll answer the other questions later. Daniel, I noted your question. We'll answer it later.
okay, I'm just going back here.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay now yeah, yeah, just we just breaking down like there you saw me. I'm already done with the with Lord. So, but I wanted to walk you through how I got there, or how I got to those nice visuals and all those things. so, so the first prompt was like simple English. I have uploaded an Excel file with South African employment data.
Mm.
Can you explore it and tell me what we are working with? What questions could this answer? Sorry, guys.
Bless you.
And then Claude would just read that Excel file. I do all those things. I didn't identify the missing values, and I mean, like basically do everything. Like this normally you would have to write code to do this yourself, to clean the data, to get the data, and try to find what questions. But now we're asking the AI. Once it has seen the data, it can tell you what questions this data can answer. Because that's what you want. You don't want come up with any questions. No, the data, the questions that data it can answer, right? And then then Claude we asking Claude to give us those questions, and that's how I got most of those questions to build all those dashboard and the model at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just pick one of the questions that interests me, or the one that um maybe I need to answer from a business point of view, or like from an interest point of view, like right. And in this case, this is and then okay, and the next step, it's like this is so the first step was to get a list of questions that you need to answer. You need to know what you're asking. And then now the next thing is like now you're seeing the data. Mostly the data you get is data. And or what I mean the data is data. It means the when people collect data, like survey data, any data, there are missing values, there are wrong entries, there are a lot of things. So as a data scientist, data science, most of the work, you spend a lot of time cleaning that data. Like you spend a lot of time. You can spend so data collection and data cleaning. You can spend roughly 1 to half a year just doing that, collecting data and cleaning it. You haven't built anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most important data. Like if you have a clean data, that's a very nice. I think it's a very nice world to live in. Because mostly, but now the most important thing what I'm trying to say, like this thing is very the cleaning. It's a very involved, very even for data science, it's very involved. Like it's very technical. But here we
Yeah.
just make it simple English, but I say, but not English, but just everyday language, right? Like
So,
that.
so let's take this scenario, Thabang. So, imagine that farm I'm talking about of 100 chicken. Maybe
Yes,
one day, one weekend, we have a disaster, electricity goes off, and 2,000 chicks die. And so the productivity that week will go down because we've just lost 2,000 chicken. But that's not
yes,
a usual situation.
yes,
And so you'll see in the productivity graph the thing going down and then picking up again, because besides the dying, the chicken may be traumatized and then they produce less when they're traumatized. Then it can
yes,
go up and stabilize. So the cleaning of the data would also involve that it excludes these outliers of a
yes,
day when we had a disaster. That will be excluded because it's an outlier. It's not normal that we
yes,
get
yes.
in a day 2,000 layer chickens dying, right?
Yeah, yes. It will do that. Yes, that's what it. Yes. So removing things that don't make sense, those outliers,
Yes,
like things that happen maybe once every 10 years, like
exactly.
very rare events, or
Yeah.
like some Yeah, like maybe when you're also like when you're collecting those eggs, you put in some wrong numbers to say maybe I got
Yes.
5 eggs. Like it will pick up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
this
maybe
number
there
doesn't make
was something wrong on the conveyor belt at
yes
10, whatever, and the eggs broke. They
yes
break, lots of eggs came out as broken, but actually that's not a normal situation. So it's an outlier. So cleaning the data will include removing that kind of data out of there because it's not helpful because it's not a usual situation.
yes. So yes, you're right. Cleaning the data is two things like missing
Yep.
information because of capturing and outliers, things that I mean can be, yeah, but also sometimes you might keep outliers because they're very important. Like you want to find
Ah,
out why 2,000 chickens just die out of nowhere. That's a something I need to be
yes.
interested in.
Yeah.
It's a question. It's all about
Mm.
questions, right? So like if you
Yeah.
maybe like you see that you see like the anomaly, like I need to find out why is that now anomaly. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it might be occurring in different other farms. And you might go and provide it as a service to say, okay, guys, maybe it's because how you put your poetry, the food they're giving, the supply,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see
Yes.
those are but you're only gonna find out once the data it is clean and then you
Mm.
analyze it and then you build some modeling and then that's when you're gonna find those answers that you can answer, right?
Yep.
But yeah, those are the two things. Like that's what it is. Yeah, those are the things. So most of the work, it's dealing with those outliers, how you treat them, and
And
how
then
you
missing data.
diagnose. Yes, but from the graph, I'm sure you saw like Claude is able. These tools they are trained. They know like they can pick
Yes.
up something that's anomaly. Like like for instance,
Mm.
um, that there was a dip, I think, when we plotting there, and it said
Mm.
that dip was related to fees must fall, and it's true. And it's also
Yep.
related to COVID, which is also true.
Yep.
Normally, those things, COVID is not every day. It's not like every day we wake up and we have COVID,
Yes.
So those are the things like,
Yep.
and then it will pick them up for you. But
Yeah.
you as the person learning this, you need to ask why. Like if something doesn't make sense, like the way
Mm.
Prof saying, why is there deep there? Like
Mm.
what am I saying? Why does this or even you can be as general as you like what anomalies or what things that don't make sense that
Mm.
are rare events. And then it
Mm-hmm.
explains how did you pick it up? What techniques are you
Yep.
using? And it
Yep.
teaches you what technique it's used to see those dips. And then you learn something now. You're learning something called anomaly detection, all those
Yes.
things. And like so it's all about asking. And then the most important skill now, I think it's going forward. It's not about building, it's about ask. Can you write it?
Mm.
Can you ask the question? Can you ask? That's it. And the more you learn how to ask, and how you ask is take the way we're doing it, take data, put it here, get something that doesn't make sense, ask questions,
Mm.
ask. And
Mm.
in that way, Claude is teaching you. You have a personal teacher, you have a personal lecture, personal teaching you
Yes.
how to be a data scientist. The more you ask, you're like, oh, now you know. Now next time you get
Mm.
data, like, oh, I can ask this, I can ask this, I can
Mm.
ask this. That's what.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
most of the work, 80% you spend here, and then 20% is the nice modeling part. Everything is nice there.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. And
Uh,
here's a side hustle that young people out there can want to do. You can do the data analytics for the spaza shops in your township, so
yes.
that you do the analytics for them, and so that they can see which products they need to stock more and which ones less. You can make that your own side hustle and advise them, and then they can see now they no longer have tin stuffs that sit there until they expire, or eggs that sit there until they expire, get rotten, and so on. If you're smart, you can do that as a side hustle, and
Yes.
just use Claude. I mean, it's you wouldn't be charging them exorbitantly, but you'll be making some living money, and then you get better with time.
Yes, you get yes. I think it's good. And I think what I like that example is like going to other shops and
Yeah.
actually helping them out, and saying, hey guys, here's this. I can tell you where to find the cheapest products for whatever you're buying. And
Exactly.
here's a list. Give it for free.
Yeah.
Go try it. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me know after. Then they're like, oh, okay, this is actually cheap. I saved this amount of money. Then
Yep.
now, that's it. So those are the opportunities like you can do. Um,
Yep. I want to
and then
leave you to finish your slides.
okay,
There's
okay,
one question about data, but we'll get back to it later
okay,
before we
and then
close. Yep.
and then okay, and then okay, yeah, here, yeah, it's cleaning up the data. As I said, like anomalies. Then you ask it, then it does the cleaning or it does the cleaning on its own, and then you ask it how it did it. And the next
Mm-hmm.
step is to analyze, like now, or analyze, like here, for instance, which industries are growing, or declining or whatever, right? These are the questions. All these questions I got them from Claude. Some of them maybe I just changed them, but most of them you get them from Claude from the first task. And then from there, like it's gonna you give Claude, and Claude is gonna figure out all those things for you, right? Your duty is to, or your obligation is to understand how it get to those things. Teach you
Yes.
when it gives you an answer. Teach me how I got to the answer. I want to know how. That's like each and every answer. It must you give it something, gives you a result. Okay, thank you. Teach me how to get there. How?
Yes.
Then that's the step. So that means this is a whole course. Like you course, we like can teach you how to explore. You just going step by step, all those questions, how it goes, how it asks is a full thing. It can teach you. Like the so same thing here, like we do the same. Like you get and then it gives an output and you try to find, right? So these are just the findings for this use case, but I'm just giving you like the thinking behind it, right? And
Yes.
then afterwards, you can here like we're asking you to create those charts that you saw. Like give me some dashboards or something I can build, or an app or something. Like you can tell, and then afterwards you can tell it. Okay, now I want you to teach me to build this thing so that everyone can use it, right? Because that's
Yep.
like it is outside the platform of cloud. Like now it's on my phone. I can see. Okay, this is how it works. So it can teach you like how to get there, and again all the technologies that are required to build that thing. But this is all it. So it's another biggest thing is visualization. People need to see, because seeing is believing. You know, like that's the most important thing in data science. So if you're coming there and you're telling people things but they can't see them, it's really hard to convince anyone. So seeing is believing. And then once you have those visuals, then like you need to have, what should I do now? Like, like you need to tell people what advice. Now I have a nice graph. What should I do? And then this is all this thing. Like for instance, here's a prompt. Why did education grow so much? Right?
Yes.
Because of then this is like this will tell you what to do. Like now you know education grows so much because of this. Now you know Claude will come up with ways. This is what you do and all those things. And yeah, and then I think this is just some tips. Yeah, I mean this is ongoing, but the tips, these tools, they are not, as I said, they're not smarter than you. Like you need to tell them, you can't say analyze this data. You can,
Yes.
but you're not gonna get the most out of them, right?
Yes.
But you need to treat it like it's like this. Okay, this is how I think about it. It's like maybe today let's say I'm a music I do music and I meet Kabza the small. I can't say Kabza, how do you make music? I
Yeah.
mean, it's gonna give me a general. It's gonna give me a general
Yes.
answer. Okay, do this, go start.
Yes.
But if I say, Kabza, here's this thing I've done. Help me
Mm,
refine it. Teach me. You
mm,
need. That's how you're gonna get the most out of this too. So your questions, you need to learn how to get how to ask the right questions. And then these tools will teach you all of them. They can teach you how in any field, right? And then this is not just even data science, but these are all, in anything you want to learn. You want to learn how to be a software developer. They will teach you. You just need to know how to ask questions. You need to learn how to be like how to communicate. Maybe you have interesting things how to teach. You want to teach some things. It will teach you. Like that's how it is. That's how. But the most important thing is prompts. Like these prompts are questions.
show
You
me.
need to tell it. Yes, you need to tell it what to teach you. Right. You need to
Mm,
be specific. Right. And if things don't make sense, you need to ask Claude to explain. It's thinking. How did you think? How did you come up with that? Can you explain how
mm,
you got to the dance? Right. And then and then this iterate and refine. You're going back here until you get a concept. Once you get a concept, okay, now you're done. But now you're good. Now you understand how it think, and you can do it on your own as well. Then now that's when you can go to why, what, you're going more. And when you get to the same, you iterate and refine. It's like a loop. You come back until something makes sense. So like what I mean is basically I'm just going back here. So
yeah.
under cleaning, you do it cleans the data. You ask it to a point until you can do that thing yourself. That's how you become a data scientist. Like show me the code. What was the code that was used? What was the technique? What is it called in statistics? You go read up about it. Okay, what does this thing mean? I've learned this. Then now you have an understanding, right? But this is just for data science, but it's for anything. If you want to build an app, you dashboard, teach me how to build an app. How is it? Okay. How can I make it be on Play Store? How can I make it on Apple, Apple Store? All those things. Like how can I make it someone download it? It will teach you like step by step, and that's it's all about questioning everything, any skill that you want to learn. Yeah, but no, that's all, guys. And then In terms of, I think, Prof, maybe just some quick summary. It's not just these things. You can use them to do anything. Like you can do sales. Okay, sales, interesting things. Like also some things I do for fun. Like you can build things to analyze bad way to do trading for you. They can do it, and when you learn, you also get something out. You know, like you winning money or something. But I'm not encouraging betting, but I'm just making practical examples. And
Yeah.
then market research, surveys is very important. Like why? Because the most important thing people think can. I also think if I have more money, it's
Mm.
I can get money. But no, if you get data first, you can get money. Well,
Mm.
like if you can collect data, like for instance, if you have a business, you can find a
Mm.
way, and Cloud, all these tools can help you to collect your data. In the
Yep.
next 3 years, you can be ahead to your competitors. Like like you can sell that data. Okay,
Absolutely.
interesting case. I don't know if I can share it, Prof, but
Yeah.
there's a thing called Pokemon Go. You know that there's a company
Yeah.
I used to play it. People go, hey, Pokemon, capturing them. But when you were doing that, that company it created that strategy to for
Mm.
you to collect data, and from there they collected like 500 billion images that now they are using for their own robots to deliver food.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know, like you see, like now there won't be any other company who's trying to build robots to deliver food who can compete with them because now the guys they are
Yes.
way ahead. Like they
Yeah.
are way ahead. So you can use Claude if you're solving something in a community like what strategies can I use to collect data here? And then
Mm.
you collect, and then
Mm.
you just have to be patient. You collect. Then when you have enough, then you're going to be ahead. If you're a startup shop, you're a business owner,
I
an
mean,
entrepreneur organization.
clearly, data is the new money. It's the new
Yeah.
capital.
Yes. No, data is
Yeah.
the new money, Prof. Yeah, it's the
So,
new.
so, 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 and we have so much in the townships. I mean, usually we have people from outside coming into the squatter camp or the township or whatever or the village. They set up a community center. People gravitate to it, and data gets collected. They weigh them. They check blood pressure. But they've
Yes.
got games there. They help them with homework, but people are focused on being helped with homework and playing games. But the people who set up the center are busy collecting data with their blood pressure, weights, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. And in no time, they'll have intelligence about the area in terms
Yes.
of the health condition of the people in the area. But if you think about it, I mean, we've got churches that attract a lot of people, and I'm not sure how much data churches collect, how much data preschools in the township collect. Given how long a church has been in the area,
Hmm.
do they have enough data to tell us things that about the township that the township is not aware of? To actually even end up monetizing it for people who want to sell products to the community,
Yes.
people who are running businesses that the community benefits from. And I think we are not so good as people about collecting data and keeping it safe and then using it for our own intelligence. It can end up being the thing that makes us wealthy, actually.
Yes, yes, and then I think like okay, maybe just for that, like since you can connect Claude with Google Sheet and all those things, right?
Mm.
Um, you can just say create a Google Sheet where people when they enter information, I store it somewhere. And
Yeah.
then a Google Sheet is like you can share it. It's easy. Then like what you just mentioned, like those institutions, those churches, Stockwells, like anywhere where people like in our communities where people are like grouping. There's uh, there's a lot of data we can start to collect that can
Mm.
help us within the community. You know, like
Yeah.
help us as individuals and help us as overall communities. Like so, I think that mindset is that's what people maybe need to also adopt as a data science. Like everyone is a data scientist. Like as long as you can figure out, okay, I'm in church. Maybe you speak to your
Mm.
pastors, you speak to your, like we can start collecting information about this, and it can help us like this in the future.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, because there's so much opportunity in data, and then
Mm.
in self and the most important thing is about this. I think the most important thing Prof said is self empowerment. If you can
Yes.
collect data, you don't you're not waiting to get a job. You can create your own job. You can
Own
create your
job.
own, like
Absolutely.
it's about skill. I think there was a question about competition, right?
Yeah.
It's about how well you how good are you at using these tools to, or how well do you know how to ask questions? That's it. That's your competition. How you
True.
competing to the next person or to the
Yeah.
next in the better way the better you're able to ask questions, then I think that's the best.
Yeah.
That's your selling point. Yeah,
Let's
that's
close
where.
it on the point of data. There's
Yes.
someone, there's someone, Daniel, I think. Daniel started asking the question. So what happens? I mean, obviously, the data that we use for this exercise in the previous session and now is online data, is South African data, is there. But the person is asking, so if I use my data, the data of my farm with 100,000 layers, could that information appear in responses to other users outside my organization? Can you see what I'm like? I have a farm at
Oh, okay. Yeah.
100,000 and I'm keeping the data and I'm using Claude. Can Claude use that data to respond to someone who wants to know about how to take care of their chicken and inputting their data they haven't, and they can just access it for free?
I think it's maybe for now I'll just say yes and no, right? Because yes, once you put data on there, that data goes to Claude and they have rights to use it how they see fit, right? That's the most important thing. And then maybe the no part is like they might use those insights about your chickens, but they might not say we got this from Thabang.
From you.
But those insights might be used to improve Claude to be better, make it more intelligent. So yes, they like once you put data here, they do use your data. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but
unfortunate.
I've seen on one of the models. I mean, I don't have Claude Pro, but I have other pros, and one of them asked me whether do I want them to use my data, and you can say yes or no. Some of them do
Yes.
when
Yeah.
you register and put your details, and maybe some of them don't ask you. So, but often people don't check these things. People just say yes, yes, yes because they're in a
Yeah.
hurry. People are in a hurry.
Yeah.
So every time you buy these AI models, just read the fine print. Often they ask you whether they can use your data or not.
Yes.
But if they don't, then maybe they, as Thabang says, they will use it, but they won't say it's from Daniel's farm. They might just say this breed of layers performs this way. They will use yours and other people's data. And by the way, I mean, you are not the first person to use this data. I mean, I'm talking as a farmer that whether you're doing tobacco farming or chicken farming or cattle, there's data out there that even when I want to evaluate the performance of my tobacco farm, I know what to compare with. I mean, there's data that I can get online. If you want to evaluate the performance of your layers, a particular breed of layers, the South African Poultry Association has got data that you can use. So it's not as if you are starting this data. We just go to the South African Poultry Association. We get this data that we can compare with. Are my chicken performing at the level of the other chicken of this breed at this age? You can always compare that. Is my cattle performing at the level of the same breed at this age? Are they producing the same amount of milk per day as the breed? There are associations that have data, and perhaps yours add to that. But of course, if you don't, you can say no, and it doesn't have to add there. Okay, but if you
Yes.
can think about it, Thabang, I mean, I'm just thinking there's probably not a data bank of the spaza shops. I don't know, maybe people who are running
Yeah.
township economy organizations, maybe they have data, comparative data that's out there that can be used. I don't know, but I mean that could be a business opportunity as well. If
Yeah.
you start a
Yeah.
business like that in your township and keep growing to another township and another township, you can end up having a portal of
Yes.
data where you have served people to help them build their. You firstly have to be successful in helping them, become more efficient in their spaza shop and become more successful. And then you, in the meantime, you are building your data. And, in 3 years, uh, yours could be the portal that people go to. And therefore you could then end up making money just from that, from
Yeah.
serving other people. So you got to be smart about this.
Yes. True. Yeah. I think that it's about like like it's in if you any solution if we can figure out how to collect data,
Yeah.
um, that will help you. Like that will that in an it's an investment in the future. It can reward you very very much, very much. Like,
Absolutely.
so I think that's
Absolutely.
the maybe that should be another takeaway. Like,
Yeah.
because now with these tools, but like, if I'm working as a data scientist, mostly I'm only interested about collect data, like the data I can collect because I know how
Mm,
easy it is now to build these tools.
mm,
Like it's no longer I'm gonna sit there. Like so, it's about how do I
mm,
collect data efficient, meaning like the data is very accurate, clean, and it will answer a lot of questions. That's what you see. Like,
mhm.
like so like those are the things you can. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of maybe the next time we should go around different case studies and see. But there's a lot of questions that you can look at. Questions you can ask about them in the communities and
Yeah.
since you have these tools and build something like building is so quick now like
Mm,
it's building an idea to building is really quick because of this all of these agents.
absolutely. I think it's a good idea, Thabang, that next week we look at one case study.
Okay.
But it's good to end on this, on that quote on your slide that says the best data scientist is the one who asks curious questions, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
who doesn't just say do this for me, who says, but tell me, why is this way?
yes.
As you
Why?
ask Claude, why
Yes,
why why is the graph going? Why is education consistently the biggest employer? How can that happen? and
yes,
and then Claude can break it down for you and can bring you more data. So curiosity, at the end of the day, you can never be a best data scientist if you're not curious enough.
yes. No, curiosity is there. I think that's your selling point. That's where you start.
Yeah,
That's like you need to ask more questions. The more questions you ask, the better you become as a data scientist. And like
yeah.
that's the most, yeah.
That's fantastic. That's like being an academic. If you're not curious, you will never succeed as an academic, as a researcher.
True.
Because you got to be curious. You got to be curious. You can't
Yes,
you
yes,
can't just
yes.
ask what questions and yes or no
No,
questions. That's not gonna bring anywhere. But
not,
next week we'll look at one case study. You will select the case study for us, and then we
yeah.
will go through that. I mean, and I just want to say to people what Tabang was demonstrating basically is how AI can help us learn a new skill. He chose data science, right? But
Yes,
that skill can be anything. Okay. The thing about data is that data analytics applies in every business,
yes,
small or large. Data science is important. Never ever, whether you're a preschool teacher, grade 1, grade 12, university, data analytics is important for you to get better at what you do, even at home, even as a mother at home. It's very important. So that's what Tabang chose, but it could have been anything else. And next week we'll use it. We'll look at the case study. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your patience. Tabang, thank you for sharing your expertise. What can I say? I feel like a pastor today, and bless you and ask that God can increase you and expand your territory. That not only you become smarter, but that you impact more people. And of course, as I say that, there's a footnote that says, as you impact more people and affect more industries, you will make money.
I receive. I receive 100%.
Tawang, thank you so
Okay.
much and have a good
Yeah.
week.
Okay. No, thanks. Thank you, Prof. And thanks for everyone for watching today. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. People are staying
Okay.
on. People keep increasing and the time is up. Like the numbers keep going up, but we're
Yeah.
going to
No.
close and we'll see them next week.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye
Thanks,
then.
Prof.